Hey everybody, it's Dirty Thursday with the Bull Ring Boys. Chad Hoff joining me. My name is John Roberts. Welcome to the studios of Grand Forks' best source on our show today. The announcer at Norman County Raceway, Mark Curtis Askelson. And got another guest. She'll be joining us a little bit later on here in the show. Maybe you've heard of her, Amber Balcaen. And you never know, we might even get more people calling. By the way, our show today brought to you by Executive Properties. Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Aaron says Chris and his team did a spectacular job on the damage to my aunt's garage and siding. Kept us up to date on the progress, and the finished product was amazing. Thank you for your professionalism and hard work. Hey, get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273. And you know what? If you've still got snow laying around, go ahead, call Executive Properties. That number again, 701-330-1273. They also do snow removal, and they do a darn good job. Hey, if you have any questions or comments, our phone number here at the studios is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863, as we zoom today. Let's do it. Let's get it out of the way. Our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. See what you think of this one. You know, think about this. The things you think about when you're laying in bed. If the Goo Goo Dolls ever went on tour with like Lady Gaga, I mean, they could be calling it the Goo Goo Gaga Tour. Goo Goo Gaga Tour. Yeah. What do you think of that one?
I'll chalk up a worst top 10. Goo Goo Gaga.
The Goo Goo Gaga Tour.
Worst top 10.
Yeah. All right.
I like it.
Good morning, all. Nick Curtis.
Morning, everybody.
Already talking to us.
We are a half hour behind. We know that.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind. People texting me on my phone saying, are you having difficulties?
Well, it's not like we haven't advertised for it. Dale put it on this morning.
Yeah, and it was on yesterday, and we've been talking about it.
It's that fine print thing they don't read, right?
The disclaimer at the end. How you been?
I'm good.
Good.
Busy at the shop. Everything's going good.
Yeah.
Just kind of, I was crazy weather, right?
Oh, man. Tell me about it.
Unbelievable. You go from 60 almost degrees to 9 and 6 inches of snow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I broke 2 shear pins on my snowblower. I was so frustrated.
Oh, I bet.
I was about ready to throw it away.
And like me, I was trying to move snow yesterday, but or during the storm, or right after that day. But everything is so iced over that when I'm trying to move my snow, I couldn't get a good enough run or anything because I just spin my tires and I couldn't move it anywhere.
Right.
So Lake Roberts is going to be extra deep this spring. I can't wait. The pumps are already ready. So
the pumps are ready
I'll
to
get
go.
the pumps out, once it starts to thaw.
I think everybody's kind of worried about that now with everything going on.
Mine is just low spots in the yard. I'm not worried about my house or anything.
Right.
So,
No, but things are, we're all geared up for spring. I mean, we were dealing with things with farmers where they had everything going out, trying to figure out tires and stuff. And, and now it's covered up again.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
I almost took the plow off my four-wheeler. Almost.
I was going to say, you're lucky you didn't do that, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, should we see what our buddy is doing here?
Yeah, let's see what he's almost falling asleep, I think.
Mark Curtis Askelson in the house.
There he is.
All right. Get rid of that. How you doing, man?
Doing real good. Good to be here. Appreciate the flexibility and all that today. Would have loved to be in studio, but some plans change, things like that. But it's always happy to be on your program.
You know, that's what happens when you have children. Yeah. They get sick once in a while.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's luckily a job allows a lot of flexibility and stuff where I don't have to miss work or any of that. But she's doing good though. So
good.
We're here in the office.
How have you been? How's the family? How's life, man?
Life's been good. Really, really busy.
Yeah.
Family's good, but starting to miss race season here a little bit. I usually fill up my winters with as much ice fishing as possible. This year, been a little trickier, but starting when we started seeing some grass and stuff, I started getting anxious for some dirt track racing.
Absolutely. And now with your job, which you travel a lot, I know you're traveling again here soon, but what exactly do you do besides announce at racetracks?
So yeah, communication specialist for kind of a number of ag-based organizations. So whether that's, writing for their publications, press release, social media, just being a communicator for the farmer leaders in the different organizations.
Do you miss radio?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Everyone tells me they miss me being on the radio a lot, so that kind of makes me a little sad, but I really love doing like the interviews and things like that, and I
Sure.
still get to do a lot of that with the new job and a lot of writing and stuff. So, but I do miss the radio a little bit.
And now when we look, you are right now in your office at your house. Looks pretty damn cozy in there, doesn't it?
Nice and warm, it looks like. He's got deer horns hanging up. He's a sportsman to boot on top of all communication stuff. Looks good, buddy.
Yeah, the PB amp in the background with the guitars. Hey, do you got a beer fridge in there, Mark?
Yeah.
No, I wish I did, but there's one not far away.
Yeah.
I got a bottle of Colonel Taylor bourbon right above me, though, so for those really tough days.
Yeah? Has it been cracked yet?
Yeah. I've had a couple sips out of her.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome. I'm glad everything's well. We didn't get you on the show last year, so we're making up for it. Heather McDonald, Mark filled in for us last year, did a great job. We're thankful he was able to drive all the way to us to fill in. Great announcer. Dirty Thursdays here. Let's go. All right, let's talk about racing. If you're going to grade last year's season at Norman County Raceway, Mark, what would you give it for a grade?
Oh, I think I'd give it I'd give her a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
We had some really good, we had car counts on the up a little bit last year, so that was really nice to see. Fans were there. Had some good specials. I think we had a Wazota modified special that was just absolutely killer. We had the late models a lot. So I'll switch that to an A minus. Well, A minus.
Okay.
It was a really good year last year.
Now, on a typical weekly racing night, what kind of classes can we see at Norman County Raceway?
So this year we're going to see the sprints, the IMCA sprint cars back on a regular basis. We kind of had modifieds before. We put in the Wazota lates and kind of go back and forth in that premier class. But the IMCA sprints, their numbers have gone up quite a bit. They got a pretty stable following. So we're going to see them on a weekly basis, along with the stock cars, which are just an absolutely thrilling show. The IMCA sport mods, the hobby stocks, the Wazota Midwest modifieds, and Index Legends. And the Legends class, another one that we saw really good numbers in last year.
Now, you talk about that IMCA sprint car class. We got lucky enough to see him a couple of times last year. I think it's a great class.
I think it's awesome. It's a great builder class for sure.
For sure. And I mean, now I think the Pake kid, Andy Pake, has already moved up.
Yeah.
He'll be running with us, I believe, this year with the 410s.
20 races this year, I saw?
Something like that, yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and actually we'll have Brad Sang and Darren Ebevold from River City Speedway will be on the show next week.
Sure.
So we will talk about that.
Sure.
Mark, when we talk about the schedule last year and how excited everybody is this year, could this be one of those years? You guys don't actually start till the beginning of June, but do you ever have the issues like we do around here where we'll have races scheduled? Devil's Lake is going to shoot for mid-April, I think, this year.
Heather always wants to be the first one out. Yeah, I love it.
and we're scheduled for beginning of May, somewhere around there. 10th of May or something. But do you guys ever have issues kicking off the beginning of the year now that you don't start till the first week in June?
Not usually. I think that's kind of one of the advantages. And, usually if we started in May or April, the problem is all our fans, and we're kind of being that heavy egg, industry around our area, and the drivers too.
Yep.
They're busy working. They're busy in the fields. And so we just don't get the fans and stuff in those April and May. And plus it's not that warm yet. So, it seems to work for us to condense the schedule a little bit and start in June. Everyone's usually out of the fields by then or not as late or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that works a little better for us. And once you get June, it seems like that first part of June is always pretty dry. Late June, July is usually a little different, but it's been pretty good, knock on wood, to get those June starts.
How did you get your start doing this whole racing thing anyway?
Well, I always kind of been around racing. My parents used to do mud running back in the day in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. My brother raced when he got to be a teenager, raced a super stock for a while. Other brother raced a street stock. They raced the River Cities there for kind of early mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I did a little motocross, but I was always involved in like broadcasting and other things. And I just felt like was kind of a natural fit having been involved in radio and things like that, and announcing things like that. So, when I started at KRJB and Ada for a while there, Jim Berkemeyer was announcing at Norman County Raceway. That he kind of slowly wanted to get that off his plate, and so that's kind of where I fit in. And right around, I think, 2012, 2013, I think this is my 11th year announcing full-time now at Norman County Raceway.
How about that?
There you go.
And that's funny. Mark, you talk about guys wanting to get out of it. I want to get out of doing everything else and just do the racing thing. and fishing. We have a lot in common. We do have a message, folks. If you get a message in Messenger to click welcome GFBS, if you click on it, all it does is opt you in to receive messages and giveaways from us. You only need to do it once. You shouldn't get prompted again. Now, if you do, we'll have it fixed by the end of the day, and we thank you all for that. Okay, Mark, we're going to talk a little bit about different cars coming in, different things like that. But this year, for the first time, and this is huge news.
Big news.
Yeah. How big is it for you guys? June 29th, I believe, the World of Outlaw Late Models invading you guys at Norman County Raceway.
This is huge. And to quote the great Josh Johnson, it's the biggest thing in Ada since the Judds came back in the early 80s. and that's a true thing. Like, they came before they went huge. They booked before they were huge. By the time they came, they were stars. And so that was a huge thing. And this will be the biggest thing since then. Because, I mean, we were looking at 3,000 people. We're tripling our capacity to fill the stands. To have a 15,000 to win World of Outlaw Late Model event is just insane. And I didn't even know it was coming. Like, I had been chats with Jake, knew of another series maybe coming, and there's a lot of movement in the schedule kind of this winter. There was a lot of different things, the schedules moving around, so I knew there was potential for a big race at Norman County Raceway. And then all of a sudden the bombshell dropped on World of Outlaws, and I think it kind of came together kind of last minute. It really wasn't on the table necessarily until kind of this winter. And wow, I was stunned. And especially as good as that World of Outlaw Late Model Series has been, the amount of competition they have in recent years, and where that series is going, it's really a big deal for Norman County Raceway, and a lot of things are going to have to change to make that happen.
You are going to have a blast with those guys because the late model World of Outlaw guys, they're so much fun to work with.
Great group of people.
Yeah, great group of people. Now, when we look at the schedule here, which, by the way, thanks for sending this, we've got also got the IMCA Stock Car Kingpin Clash. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's put on by the Bowler there. That one's going to take place here during the Ada Nationals this year, during the Norman County Fair. So when you guys are having your Grand Forks Fair, we're doing a Norman County Fair kind of around, I think, at the same time. So that's always a huge deal. On my birthday, nonetheless, I just realized that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the Ada Nationals always brings in a huge crowd. And the stock cars have been just a pleasure to watch because they all run 2-3 wide. They race clean, they race hard, and the competition is so good. You got 10, 15 guys in that class in the area here that can win on any given night.
Yeah.
So they'll get a chance to shine for the bowling pin trophy. So that'll be during the Ada Fair. So it'll be a big crowd and a fun time. And it's always fun when those guys get to race in front of a big stage like that.
Hey, call me dumb, but what's the difference between the IMCA sprint cars and the Red River Sprint Series?
Well, it's just part of a series that Mike Speaker there with Superior Custom Signs puts on. So it's either just a regular weekly show, or I think the Superior or the Sprint Series has just a little more payout, points thing or whatever. Just kind of they'll race that series throughout Ada, Fargo, Lisbon,
sure,
throughout, and Grand Forks throughout the area. So.
Okay. If you were to go back last year, do you have one night that just stands out, smacks you right in the back of the head going, wow, this is probably one of the best nights we've had all year?
The modified tour that came through last year was a really, really good show. I think we had 20 plus mods, was Oda modifieds. And, we don't have them on the schedule this year. That tour didn't happen. The Moonshine Mod Tour.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening this year. So that's kind of a bummer, but I think Zach Johnson won that one, and you had Tyler Peterson. They were battling back and forth for a number of laps. Throughout the whole race, there was a battle for the lead. So that was a really good one that stuck out.
Now, is that Lightning Sprint Tour coming through Norman County this year?
I don't think at this point it is. The schedule's still a little fluid, so
Mm-hmm.
it didn't last year either. I don't think so. Things could always change, but I don't think so at this point. I believe it might make its way to maybe Fargo or so, but not a Norman County Raceway.
Okay. Now, I asked you about the best year last year. Did you have a year or a night that you just wish never happened?
Oh man, I wish. Well, there's a race that I wish would have happened that didn't happen. The Battle of the Businesses bus racing, and that's always a wild night because it's just bus racing and it's a whole different. It's not the same concept as like you guys do in River Cities, where there's just a lot of wild and shenanigans and it's crazy and there's carnage and all kinds of crazy things going on. Well, that one didn't. It got rained out during the fair.
Oh,
So that was a big bummer because there's not really a chance to make that up throughout the year. So, we'll do that again this year on the Saturday of the fair and June 22nd. But that really was bummed to not have that happen.
so do they talk you into driving a bus? Do you get to do fun things like that or not?
I did one year. I don't remember if it was last. I think it was the year before. We had a kind of a little mini bus race kind of scheduled during one of the regular nights in the late summer, and I got to participate in that. They gave me the slowest bus I think they had, so that kind of sucked. I think I got fourth or fifth out of sixth.
Well, it's better than the shortest bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool to finally get to do that after watching it for how many years.
You
I
know,
didn't have any power steering either.
oh wow, they never let me get in the bus. I think it's because of liability issues.
I've got in a bus.
I know you have.
Yeah. I've gotten the 2-seater and I've gotten the bus. I mean, I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
As of what opportunities I've been graded to do, but I'm not up in the booth, so
Right.
a little different.
Yeah.
But I the bus racing, I got yelled at because they're like, you need to pick a line. What?
Who yelled at you?
Meshke.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. You need to pick a line. No.
No, I don't.
I'm watching my rear view. I'm blocking your ass. Don't worry
Robin's
about
racing,
me. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit me. Do it. I have a bigger bus than you.
And then you got to go on the 2-seater.
Yeah, I pissed my pants there. Yep, that
Yeah,
one.
thank
Yep.
goodness. I said I couldn't do it, so I
think
said,
if anybody
Shad
has
graciously will.
Yeah, if anybody had an opportunity that, Mark, we should. Oh man, you would piss your pants, 100%.
Absolutely.
Dobmeyer does not hold anything back on that thing at all.
Yeah.
I think Dobmeyer said he made his 2-seater debut at Norman County Raceway with that sprint car.
Oh.
First night out was, and I remember that took over social media. That went viral. I think when he unveiled that. I think he still owes me a ride, but that's all right. I'll be patient.
I was just out at his shop on Sunday.
Yeah.
Went out and hung around for a little while. After the burn thing last year, then he had the roof collapse on his cold storage, and he's in the process of building a new building now and getting things rolling again. But he'll be back. And also here at Dirty Thursday, our thoughts are going out to Shane Romling. I know Shane's having some medical issues right now, so we're keeping good thoughts and prayers for you, Mr. Romling. Now, when it comes to Thursday nights, Mark, do you get the same crowd that you would on Friday? Because I've always thought Thursdays and Sundays are great nights for racing.
Yeah, well, I think we've done Fridays once before too. We've kind of done the gamut on different nights over the years at Norman County Raceway. But the thing is, in our area, in Ada, we have great local support.
Mm-hmm.
But on Friday, everyone goes to the lakes, right? So
Sure.
They're going to another race or whatever. And with our partnership with Red River Valley Speedway, they run Friday nights too. But Thursday works pretty well. Because no one's gone for the lake yet. A lot of people have Fridays off, so they can stay late Thursday, and they're in town. So Thursday works pretty well for us. Of all the dates we've tried over the years, Thursday's probably been the best.
How hard is it for you to get up on Friday morning?
Difficult, very difficult. It's and because as well as I do, when you get done announcing a race, it's not like you can just go to bed.
Impossible.
Right?
Impossible.
Even if you get done early, like you can't just sit. My ears are still ringing, even though I'm up in the booth and whatnot. So like, I need to unwind. I got to have a beer or two and unwind a little bit and everything else. So it is not easy, but I'm still usually in bed by midnight most nights, and so I can get a decent amount of sleep.
That's the biggest thing about those is I'd love to go down there and check that out and watch Mark do his thing and. Because I love doing that, going somewhere and watching somebody else kind of do what we do and see it. But man, Friday morning would just suck for me.
I know. And it wouldn't be so bad for me now because I don't do a whole lot in the mornings anymore.
I gotta be at the shop by 7:30 in the morning. That'd be a little tough call. That's why, I'd love to do more, go down to Buffalo River more. I'd love to go see, I'd love to go down to Lisbon. That'd be amazing to go down there too.
Yep.
But that's Sunday nights.
Yep.
And it's like, Monday mornings are rough.
Yep. Mark, when you're announcing, we're all different. All of us racetrack announcers are different. People will ask me how did the racing go tonight or how did it go last night, and I always judge by how my voice and throat feel at the end of the night.
Yeah.
If I'm getting a little sore and a little hoarse, that means the racing was probably pretty darn good. Are you kind of the same way, or are you more of an even keel guy?
No, I mean, when we got good racing, and it's even more difficult in Ada, because the thing is, like, announcing, and I'm not saying it's easy, but when you go to places like River Cities or Buffalo River, like, they're smaller tracks, and so there's more action and tons of cars.
Yep.
Well, in Ada, that stretches out a little bit. So if my voice is hoarse, it definitely was a really, really, really good night. But, I tend to judge a good night based on, what the crowd was doing, how they were feeling. If they were, rambunctious all night, or they were enjoying the races, if they were liquored up and having a good time or whatnot, that's how I say it was a good night of racing, when the crowd is just really happy and excited. Whether that's for me, and probably not for me, because they can't hear me half the time anyways.
Right.
But, from the racing, if the racing got them excited.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah, and it's all about putting on a show. I mean,
without a doubt,
that's what it's about. Do you guys, do you have a little FM transmitter there at Norman County?
Well, typically the races are broadcast on 106.5.
That's right.
Or whatever,
yep.
So
okay.
they can bring their headphones and listen on that, and anywhere within 70 miles of the racetrack, really.
Sure. So you're still getting some time on the airwaves then.
Yeah, a little bit last year. And we'll still do that again this year, I think, or at least from the Norman County Raceway perspective. But yeah, we're still on. As far as I know, we'll still be on KRJB, but we'll see.
Yeah. Now, Mark, you branch off further than that though too. You've went down Red River Valley. You've done some other tracks too. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm hoping to do more announcing at Red River Valley Speedway this year, maybe from like a Victory Lane reporter kind of in your role there, and just help out more there of that this year. I've gotten the opportunity every now and then at Devil's Lake Speedway, so that's always fun to get up there with those guys, or just announcing anything around the area. If somebody needs an MC for something, the banquets, I always really enjoy doing the Ada and Fargo race banquets, and roasting a few of the drivers, having some fun with that.
Yeah.
So anytime I get a chance to talk, I'll do it. So,
hey, are there any drivers you do not like talking to or interviewing, and you don't have to name any names, because let's face it, there's some guys.
This is such a loaded question.
They don't like the microphone, but is there? You've been doing this a long time now, Mark. Is there anybody, and you're like, oh boy, I got to go interview them, or is it they all good? Because once you get to know them, they're usually pretty good. But there are those few guys.
Yeah.
Oh, there are a few guys there that are not big talkers, right? Maybe some younger guys that are just not big on talking or whatnot. But we were pretty lucky in our area. Our drivers have a lot of connection to media, whether being interviewed before the race or otherwise, or Victory Lane and things like that. So most of these guys are pretty comfortable talking, right?
Sure.
So, and whether they're doing things like this or Grand Forks Best Source, the Dirty Thursday, or they're doing other radio shows, things like that, they have a lot of opportunity to get out and to be comfortable in front of a microphone. So, and there's some few guys that I don't know what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, anyone in the Jacobson clan is always one of them. I love talking to them, and they're great for the sport. But man, I never know what those guys are gonna say, so that's why I kind of look forward to it.
It's kind of like the
might have to edit it.
Yeah, kind of like the Jay Hastings is.
I was just gonna say there's drivers here that we gotta go. Hey, make sure we're PG. Make sure we're PG. Then turn the mic on. He's like, oh yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, there's some F-bombs. For sure.
Joshua Johnson says, when I used to write for a racing paper, I used to get asked who won. I couldn't respond because I couldn't remember. I'd been too busy writing it all down. I couldn't remember what even happened. That's funny because
that's so true.
Yeah, I do high school hockey games. I come home from the game just a couple weeks ago. My wife's like, who won? And I said, whoever. What was the score? I guess I don't remember.
I mean, it makes complete sense when you're doing something like that, especially, Josh, what doesn't he do? But, keep your mind busy and stuff, right? You're doing that. And way you do, I mean, listen, nothing against watching live hockey, but when I watched hockey, it was East Grand Forks. I was watching a live stream, shut that off, and listened to you and Dale. But I listened to that and just, well, how much you guys got to move around and different topic, and the hockey is so fast.
Yeah.
So
Fastest team sport.
And it's just like Josh said, racing is so fast as we lose our mind a couple times.
Yeah.
I used to announce with Larry McFall back in Minot, and you would ask him the same thing, and he'd be like,
Yeah. I know. Thought you were the announcer. Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
somebody raced?
Yeah. Look it up on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
You'll find out the
That's right.
results. Mark, if somebody wants to find out more about Norman County Raceway, how do they get a hold of you? I know you guys are big on social media and all that stuff, but how can we find out more about your schedule and your track and the whole town of Ada?
Well, the schedule should be probably posted here pretty soon. The full schedule, ncraceway.com, or it'll be on the social medias as well. So, it'll be kind of the same weekly series throughout the year with a couple different topics. I do want to mention the bumper to bumper IRA sprints are coming here July 18th. I don't want to forget about that.
Oh, sure.
Tour up in River Cities there too. So we'll see 410 sprint cars back in Ada for the first time in a couple of years. So that's really exciting. But yeah, full schedule should be out pretty soon. It's pretty much done. ncraceway.com is probably the best way. To find it.
I didn't even see that July 18th show, the King of the Wings, Buffalo Wild Wings, Kings of the Wings, featuring IRA Outlaw Sprints, Red River Sprints.
Well, we do got lightning sprints.
Yeah.
Lightning sprints that night. Yep.
That's going to be a great night. I'm so glad that they booked that again this year here at River Cities too. I tell you what, we're going to take a break. Mark Curtis Askelson, if you want to hang around here, feel free. We're going to see if Amber is ready to go on yet, but I want to take just a quick little break here. So hold on. We'll be right back with you, all right? Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. In fact, my wife was supposed to go get an oil change today, and I know she canceled. Everything needs to be done right now. Oil changes, same thing. A lot of people blow it off because, they don't want to spend a couple hours of their day waiting in line to get an oil change. I go to Balcaen Instant Oil Change and get my oil done there. I'm usually there maybe 20 minutes. Also included, while they're changing my oil, they are topping off my fluids, checking my tires, battery, lights, wipers, my cabin air filter. You get discounts for fleets in the military. And you know what? They do more than that, too. They do tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. They can text and email invoices and coupons, too. And if you mention Grand Forks Best Source, right off the top, they're going to knock $10 off your oil change. They're open Monday through Saturday. No appointment needed. Pickup and deliveries available in Grand Forks, too. Tell you what. For a complete oil change and more, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, 3325 South 38th Street. And also call them up, 701-780-8462. Make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. I didn't even get a chance to look at Dale, the producer here, but right now we've got Mark Curtis Askelson on with the on Dirty Thursday, the announcer at Norman County Raceway. Waiting for NASCAR ARCA driver Amber Balcaen. Has she got in yet? Not yet. Okay. So we're going to keep waiting on her to join us. Do you get a chance to go to a lot of other tracks, Mark? I know you talk a little bit about Red River Valley Speedway and things like
Devil's
that.
Lake.
And then Devil's Lake. But if you're like me, I never get to go. I just don't get the chance to go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't get out very often. I'll get to maybe Glendon on a Sunday or maybe Devil's Lake or Grand Forks when I can. I always like to get up to Forks for the sights. I always love to get up there for that. Last year, I actually got the chance to head on over to Granite City.
Oh,
there at Sauk Center for the first time. I happened to be in the area, so if I'm traveling, if I'm in the area, I'd like to get to the local track or whatever. So I'm hoping to do more of that. This year I occasionally find myself in Wilmer and other places, and so it's like, well, just got to get to the racetrack. So that's kind of the perk of traveling a lot with the job. It's like, well, maybe I can sneak in a visit to the racetrack or whatever. So I'm hoping to do more of it.
Hey, if you could announce at one racetrack, just pick one, where would it be?
Oh, honestly, probably I'd love to announce at River Cities.
Oh,
I'd love, so you need night off, man. That's always been a favorite track. So that's one that I'd like to cross off the bucket list one day.
All right, we'll have to remember that.
Yeah, definitely got to remember that.
Yeah, because I know I miss a couple every year, and I know Chad does too. So we'll talk with Mark.
I think so.
Yeah,
get Dale in there some more, and
yep.
yeah,
we're throwing him into the wolves for a lot of things now.
I love it.
Yeah, Dale he went and did the extreme ice racing last weekend in Thief River at the Ralph.
Yeah.
That was a blast. Yeah.
Was that a blast?
Oh, yep. Yeah, that was, all the heats were done so fast.
Oh, I'm not getting any.
You're not getting any voice from me, but all the heats are.
Should be volume 4, the switch on the, there we go.
It's-
Test 1, 2.
No,
Okay.
Nothing happening.
hold on. We got to do this because Mark, you got to hear about this. Dale went and did ice racing with motorcycles up in Thief at the Ralph, right?
Yeah, Thief River Falls Ralph. Yep. Thief River.
Yeah.
There's.
Oh, yeah, John, if you move that notch to the left there, there you go. Now
I know it's not working.
Oh,
I
man.
know how to do it.
John, you got the red button on the bottom. Hit that red button on the bottom. There you go. Now
It's
really
not-
good, right?
Nothing. No.
Nothing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Technical
It's
difficulties.
not meant to be.
Not meant to be. But anyway,
Yeah, either one of them's not working.
he went down and did some racing. Oh, here you go. Try this one.
Yeah,
We're
try
going to
this
do
one.
musical mics.
Musical mics.
It's-
Musical mics. Yeah.
It's still not working.
Oh, gosh.
Why is it just R2 working?
Hey, that's fine. It's A-okay.
It's A-okay.
Try it again.
That's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Test
Just,
1,
you
2,
know.
3, 4.
Well, Mark, it was a good story.
I got to do some ice racing, announced some ice racing over there on Cameron Lake in Erskine a couple of years ago. I got to do that once a year for a handful of years there for a while. That was always pretty fun to watch. That was like Doyle Erickson.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And Matt Scow and those guys, the Scow brothers, all racing.
Oh, yeah.
That. Even got to ride along with Matt Scow once. Holy crap! Is that a fun ride to ride along one of those ice racers?
We
That's definitely different. That's no doubt about that. What are you doing?
I'm trying to fix stuff. Yeah, in fact, we went to the ice racing, Lake Cameron ice racing last year. We had a blast, and I was planning on going one time this year and maybe doing a little bit of announcing, but now they cancel it because it's been such a goofy-ass winter. But you can also visit Norman County Raceway's official website at ncraceway.com. Do we have anybody else in here ready to go yet?
I'm not seeing her trying to log in.
All right.
I'd like to know what the hell's wrong with my microphones here.
Well, that's a whole nother problem there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, especially
you know?
if we bring more guests in. Could be an hit. Don't you hate technical difficulties, Mark?
Oh, I love it, right? I'm probably like you are, kind of an audio geek and things like that too. So I love that engineering stuff. So then when it doesn't work, yeah, it's always
there she
fun.
is.
Oh no, see, I don't because I'm dumb.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
John, there she is.
All
right.
She's on.
Hey,
Well, look who that is.
can you hear us, Amber?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. We got the Bullring boys here, Chad Hoff and myself, and Mark Curtis Askelson, the announcer at Norman County Raceway, is here. And you just got done out of the gym, I'm taking it.
Yes, I had Heat Lab today, which so I train at Toyota Performance Center now.
Oh.
And they have this room, and it's not a sauna, but it's like a small room that is like a sauna, and that's how we train in heat. So there's cardio equipment in there, and then we do some things in between cardio equipment. So we do that for an hour, sweat as much as we can. So I had to change definitely before I
Okay.
came on the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, because it gets really hot in the car, so that's kind of how we train our body to acclimate to the heat.
Sure.
Makes complete sense.
Before we get on anymore here with Amber, we got to say goodbye to Mark Curtis Askelson. He has got a child to take care of. Mark,
you go.
thanks, man, for hanging with us.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Anytime.
We'll get a hold of you. We'll do some catfishing too this summer.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Mark. There you go. Mark Curtis Askelson, the announcer at Norman County Raceway, back now with Amber Balcaen, NASCAR ARCA driver. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about here.
Yeah, recently just posted on Facebook, probably a little while ago, Amber, I think. Now you're part of the Busch Light crew.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that was posted recently, because that was last year. They're not doing anything with us this year.
Oh,
What the heck?
Not
jeez.
just me, just
Yeah,
women in
with the
general.
whole women thing. And
yeah.
that sucks because we had something in common.
Yeah, John loves Busch Light, and you were sponsored by him. But yeah,
Yeah, so does my dad. My dad loves Busch
Yeah, yeah.
and my mom.
yeah, we've been around him. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's go back to the first race of the year, Daytona. Man, I tell you what, for what happened in that race, for you, I mean, you get caught up in this wreck and you come back, you finish ninth. I don't know how many pit stops it took or how
Oh,
much
gosh.
wrenching and taping and duct taping and everything else on your car, but walk us through, talk about that Daytona opening season race.
Yeah, let's say I got really good at pit stops during that race. I feel ready for the truck series now. No, but yeah, honestly, the whole weekend we were just dealt a 2 and 7 offsuit hand. Like we were dealt a horrible hand. ARCA is the only series that does group qualifying, and how those groups are determined is by random draw. Daytona is all about being in the draft, being with good cars with you to make your car go faster. In practice, we were P8 because I was with my team. My team was, I think, about like 4th to 9th or so. So we were all in the same. With group qualifying, I got a really bad group, meaning the cars that I was with were not strong cars whatsoever. So I essentially had to use my own speed in my own car to be able to get in. It was such a rough group that my car owner was like, "You might not make this race."
Oh boy.
Just do what you can. So that was the kind of position we were in. Luckily, my car was strong enough to pull on its own to just get in the race. That's why we qualified, I think, 28th. There was 49 cars, I think like 30 or so made it. So before the provisionals. So that itself was like a mini win. And then started at the back. I contemplated, do I stay at the back for a little bit? I know things are going to get hairy because of the group qualifying. It wasn't like the fastest cars were at the front and then the slow cars were at the back. We were all mixed in. There's fast cars in the front, in the middle, and at the back there were slow cars in the front, middle, back. So it was just a mess, really. And when you're going 180 mile an hour, almost touching, that gets really, really scary. So I wanted to hang back a little bit, and then I got impatient. I was like, no, I need track position. I know my car can get up there. So I started to go up there, started to get in the mix, and then lap, I think 3 or 4, that crash happened, got in it, and came down pit road. Crew looked at the car, went 2 laps down, and I was kind of like, oh, this sucks. Like I really thought we had a chance to win this race. I knew my car was strong, and they're like, well, how's it drive? I'm like, it's super sketchy. I'm going down the straightaway, and my wheels like this, and it should be straight, and it's like this, and I'm like, the toe's definitely knocked out. There's front nose damage. It's just not a good look. And they're like, well, we'll keep working on it if you feel you can keep running with it. I'm like, I'll do what I can. Like let's do it. So they constantly kept working, kept hammering, fixing the toe a little bit. The steering wheel got a little better. The first little bit I couldn't really keep up with the draft because that's how much damage there was. But the more they worked on the car, the little better my car got, and I could get in and kind of hang with them while I was in the draft. And once I was able to do that, I'm like, if we can get these laps back, we'll be okay. So we got the lucky dog once, lucky dog twice there, and then all of a sudden,
you're back in it.
And we're back in it. And they said if we can get a top 20 out of this, considering how bad your car is, I think we'd be in good shape. And cross the finish line, and they're like, you got P9, and we're like, what?
Yeah, I mean that's almost like a win right there,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
so very, very proud of my team, their determination. The leadership from my crew chief was amazing. The fact that they just worked their butts off all race was incredible. So we're trying to go for a championship this year, and that's the kind of races we need to win championships. Having the never quit attitude and the perseverance and determination from my team was just incredible.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. You remember when your dad, Mike, was on the show here last year, the year before? I don't know if you remember that, but you remember you called in. Yeah. Is anybody there?
Oh, they hung up a little bit.
Oh, they hung up.
Mike. Hopefully he'll call back.
That was my favorite podcast I've ever listened to my dad be a part of, or favorite interview.
Oh, he's such an interviewable guy. Is that a right word?
Well,
interviewable?
He's by far one of the friendliest guys out there. I remember after COVID and stuff, when he came back, when I saw him in the pits, I stopped my golf cart, went out and gave him a hug, like, oh man, it's so good to see you, because his smiling face just brights up the room. So, and definitely, just a great family overall. Your dad and your mom, and you especially out there doing it for us up here. It's been pretty great. Amber, tell them about, you guys' schedule, even to start the Daytona for you was crazy. You guys were just switching around all the time. How was that to keep track of yourself when you're trying to figure out when the scheduled times for racing was?
Yeah, so Daytona is our Super Bowl, right? It's the biggest race of the year, and that means not only on track but off track activities as well. I have appearances, I have sponsorship meetings. We brought a bunch of business to business relationship type of meetings in with my other sponsors and partners. So I had dinners and all these things planned all week. And so we go to qualify, and then they're like, all right, we're going to race tonight. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to do 2 appearances, then a sponsor dinner, then I got to come back, get on my suit. Like it was a whirlwind, but I kind of thrive in that stuff. Like I like the go
Sure.
of it all. I enjoy it, and yeah, it was a great weekend. Obviously we wanted the win, but luckily we have 19 other races to try to make that happen.
Absolutely. How about now?
You should be on. Yep.
Are you there? Hello.
Oh, Mike.
You know, we're having trouble with these microphones. Maybe it's something with that too.
Oh,
My dad's not very good with technology,
since
so
we got him. You got the right dial.
Yeah.
I got them all up.
Yeah. Yes.
He's trying his best with his techno.
Hello.
Oh, we're trying.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be the roadcaster menu.
Maybe
I'm not going to shut it off.
Put him on the speaker here or
dang it.
something. Yeah. Shoot. We wanted him to surprise you, Amber. Like
Yeah,
you
we're
surprised him.
Having a bunch of technical problems here
Yeah.
today, and I don't know why. We got 2 microphones that all of a sudden quit working, and now we don't have a phone line. At least we got Zoom.
Yeah, that's right. We got Amber up and live. That's all right.
Yeah. All right. Now, what's it like? Now, you got your start on dirt. I mean, I can remember watching you with back then the mini sprints, the lightning sprints, going into a big sprint. Next thing you know, Amber Balcaen is going 182 miles an hour out in Daytona. What is, we talk a little bit about the pucker factor, but it's got to be, is what's the difference between that and a 410 Outlaw sprint car?
yeah, that's a great question. I think with the 410 Outlaw sprint car, you just gotta have no fear. Like you just go, and you don't use your brain as much. You just have no fear and kind of use the feel of your seat, and you go for it. Where with pavement racing, it's so much more technical. There's so much more information that you're having to digest, from hearing what the spotter's saying to you, to what the car's doing, to the cars around you. There's just so much information that you're taking in all the time. So I think I definitely get more of like a stomach rush from 410 sprint cars, but 3 wide at Daytona, when everyone's slicing and dicing, you're like, holy crap, this is pretty sketchy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't say crap, but that's cool. Good censorship. No, I agree with that. There's definitely a different, you got to have a different mindset too going into that asphalt side of things. I mean, you got to be thinking constantly on that to where, like you said, in a 410, you probably don't have much time to think. But on that other side of things, man, you got to be busy in there.
For sure. And with sprint cars, you're 25 laps, you're just going balls to the wall for 25 laps, running as hard as you can. Where in pavement racing, it's like, okay, this is a 200-mile race. How am I? Because that my biggest issue my first year in ARCA was I would just want to go, and I would drive at 110% every lap, where they're like, no, Amber, drive at 80%. And then maybe at the white flag, go to 100%. But
Right.
you cannot be driving 100% every single lap. And so that's one thing that I think I will really implement this year, is knowing that, hey, these are long races. They're 100, 150 lap, 200-mile races. And I need to be strategic in how I play out the race. I can't go 100% every single lap. So that's the biggest difference, I think, between dirt and pavement, is like you really have to use your brain more.
Right.
You can't just be like, all right, let's go.
How hard is it to be going at 180 plus miles an hour around the track, and then all of a sudden it's pit stop time, and you've got to just slow her down and basically looking at your tachometer or whatever. But how tough is that to go from that fast to that slow back to that fast again?
Yeah, it's an adjustment, and that's why even though the Daytona race was really messy, like I always try to look at the positives of every race, and I'm like, well, at least I got a lot of pit road experience that race, because that we don't have super live pit stops like the truck Xfinity
Yeah.
Cup do. Ours are like modified. But I'm gonna have to learn how to have a really quick pit stop. So putting in that situation we were in at Daytona, it kind of prepped me for that next step. So doing it that many times, I'm like, all right, this is practice for the rest of the season.
Sure. 20 races in 19 tracks this year. Now, when I'm looking at your schedule here, Mid-Ohio, Watkins Glen, are those road courses in? And your thoughts on that?
Yeah, road courses are really tough. I've only done 2 road courses before, and it was the last season that I raced ARCA. So, very different, very difficult, very technical. I'm hoping to do a NASCAR Canada race at CTMP, Canadian Tires
Okay.
Motorsports Park. Working to get sponsorship for that right now, just to get a little bit more seat time and because it's so different. It's fun once you figure it out, but there's a lot of moving parts to it with downshifting and upshifting and
Do you
going
do a
through
lot of simulator seat time to prepare for something like that?
Yeah, so now that I'm signed with Toyota Racing, I have so many more resources available to me, which I'm really excited. I've been excited to be utilizing all of them, and now to be able to implement them and see how it can help progress my racing. One of them is simulator, so I get to go into the Toyota Racing simulator and try out the track. So far, I've only been on Phoenix. Phoenix is our next race, but Phoenix is a track that I found difficult. So to get that sim time going there, now I have a little more confidence. Mid-Ohio will be one that will get to go in the sim, hopefully Watkins Glen as well. I also have a little iRacing rig here that I can use. I use it more on the road courses just for visual to understand, but you can't really beat a couple $1,000 simulator to the multi-million-dollar simulator
Yeah,
that
right.
I have. So,
I mean, those things got to work out pretty well for you. You know, realistically, that helps you get the layout of the land, so per se, right? I mean, that does a good job for that too as a sim. You must put a lot of hours on that.
I do, yeah. Not as much. My first season in ARCA, I spent a ton of time on the simulator, but on my own racing
Sure.
simulator. But the thing with that is they're not 100% accurate. Like the real sims are much more
Mhm.
accurate. So it's a balance of like, all right, I want to learn this track and get used to it, but I also don't want to create bad habits if the lifting point's a little off, right? So it's kind of like balancing, all right, let's utilize it to learn, but not too much where we're creating bad habits when we go to the track.
I got you.
You know, we tried, and we're going to try to figure out what's wrong here. We tried to get your dad, Mike, on the show because I know he was jacked about calling in while you were on. But one of the reasons Chad and I talk about your dad and your family, Mike is, I was explaining to Dale, our producer, that Mike Balcaen's probably one of the nicest guys you will ever meet.
Agreed.
And when you said all of a sudden there's Mike, he's back at the track, I was the same way. I was like a little kid seeing Santa Claus for the first time, you know. But one of the reasons we don't see your mom and dad at the racetrack as much anymore is because I know they follow you a lot. I know you've got that big stretch coming up: Elko, Michigan, Illinois, Milwaukee, and all of those. How cool is that when mom and dad can come and hang out with you and be a part of this journey with you?
It's so cool. I mean, I've worked a really long time to get here, but none of this would be what it is without sharing it with the people that I love and the people that support me and are there for me. And to have them at every race, almost every race, it's incredible. And the cool thing is racing is something that we all love. It's something we all have a passion for. It's something we live for. It's been our whole lives. And the fact that as a family, we get to enjoy it all together and share these awesome moments together, it makes it so much better. Like it really does. And I'm just very grateful to have them be a part of this, and I know they really enjoy it. They have a lot of fun. My dad loves it. My mom loves it because she's like, she's like, I've done dirt for like 60 years. And let's try something different. I don't have to get dirty. I don't have to clean the motorhome as much. Like, it's great. And then with my dad, like you guys know my dad, he loves learning. He loves, the innovation side of the sport and learning and comparing kind of what they're doing on the pavement side for shock springs and all that versus the dirt. And he just loves learning more about this side of the sport. And he loves it.
Yeah. Well, he loves talking about you doing it. I'll tell you that.
Does. He does.
He tells us all the time, and sometimes he'll run through here and be like, I'm gonna race River Cities tonight, but we're gonna go, and I gotta hit down to Amber, to Michigan, or wherever you're at that time. But just know that, holy cow, they gotta be overly proud of you right now.
Yeah, in fact,
Holy
John
cow.
Biergard says Mike's an amazing, love that guy, always so awesome to talk to. Josh Johnson, speaking of Mike Balcaen, every year on my birthday, I get a text message from him. I don't get to see him as much anymore, so I always thought that was very thoughtful. Nick Curtis wants to know, Mason's Aaron's racing videos. Has there been a favorite track or style of track that you've enjoyed racing the most in ARCA? And way to go, Mason. That was one of my questions. Do you have a favorite track?
Yeah, I really enjoy the super speedways and the mile and a half tracks. Mile and a half because you have a little more control. Where with the super speedways, sometimes comes down to luck, and if luck's not on your side, they're not as fun. But the mile and a halfs like Michigan, Charlotte, Kansas, I love those tracks because you can really feel the speed, but you still get the technical side of the throttle points and braking and all that. Where super speedways, you're just kind of down to the floor manipulating the air. But I love how each track is so different. You have to learn how to run each track so different. How the air works on super speedways versus how the air works on intermediates, and there's just so much different thing. I'm always learning, and that's really fun. And yeah, I think definitely the mile and a halves and the super speedways are both my favorite.
It's like these people are reading our minds. I was going to ask you this one too. This comes from Nick. Amber, if you could get back into a 410 one night at River City Speedway, if you get the chance, would you take it? Now let's set this up. Say somebody gives her the top equipment, they fly you up here, say, come on, you're going to race one night, and then we'll fly you back home. Would you be all over that?
100%, absolutely. 100%.
I wonder if we
Let's
can make
broadcast that live outside
Nothing
everywhere.
gets my stomach turning like a 410 sprint car.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe we could do a GoFundMe.
Just go talk to some people. Let's get Buffalo Wild Wings on board here. Let's get this done.
Oh man. Now, is there? You haven't been doing this for as long as you were on the dirt or whatever, but have you found yourself a favorite track or a favorite style? I know you said the mile and a half, but is there one now that you've hit where you just said, I can't wait to get back here?
Kansas probably. I'm really excited to see what I can do at Kansas this year. There's a couple tracks that I have circled on the calendar thinking that I have the shot to win there, and I think Kansas is one of them.
There you go. I like it.
So how different is it now being with TRD and all of that stuff compared to what you've been doing in the past?
It's such a big difference. The amount of resources I have now is insane. I was training at Toyota Performance Center today. I went in the morning. I have a physical therapist that worked on my shoulders and my neck. Then I trained in the heat room. They have a kitchen there with fully supplements there for all of us. We have our vitamins that we take every day that we, did through a blood panel, so they know what I need. We get to go-karting with specific shifter carts. There's just so much that I have never had before as far as resources of how to make me a better driver. Before I was on my own and I was seeking out all these different things on my own time with my own dollar. And this is all part of the program. So, and the simulator is huge. I had never been on a simulator until this year. So, I think with all of these put together and just the work ethic that I know that I can implement this year, I think I'll have a really great year this year.
Yeah. How does it feel when you're sitting there and you're going through your training and stuff and you're sitting back like, this is, I don't know if it's your dream right now or not, but you're kind of living your dream really. You know what I mean? How cool is that to sit back? If you just reflect on that, what's that got to feel like?
It honestly, like even at Daytona, I had to stop myself from getting emotional because I'm just so incredibly grateful to be here. And it's taking me a long time to get here. I moved here in 2016 and I'm now just kind of feel like I'm where I want to be and like making progress forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because I took the hard road to get here and it took so long to get here, that's probably why I'm so grateful for it all. Even walking around TPC today, I'm like, this is so cool. This is incredible that I'm here. And I'm just very, very grateful. And I'm going to make the most of the opportunities I have in front of me and try to just go as far as I can.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, we're going to try something here.
Hey, are you there?
I'm here. Outstanding.
Outstanding.
Can you hear that, Amber?
A little bit. Are you sure it's my dad that's not the issue and it's you guys? He's not very good with technology.
No, we've actually got him on a speakerphone right now in my hand.
Yeah.
Can you say something, Mike?
Mike, say something.
I'm here. I can't hear Amber, but I can hear you guys. You guys sound awesome.
Okay, Amber, he says he's here, but he can't hear you, and I'm sure it's because how we're doing this. But Mike, your thoughts on her fulfilling her dream, man, fulfilling her dream?
Well, it's hard work, and anything in life life if you want to accomplish stuff. You got to work hard at it. She's been at this for quite some time and put a great effort in, and things are coming around. And man, she's had a lot of help and support from people, but she's putting in the time and what it takes to get it done. And as parents, we couldn't be prouder.
Now, when we talked to you last year, the few times we did get to see you, we were lucky enough to see you, you weren't here that much because you're following her around. Same kind of thing for you, your plans this year?
Pretty much the same thing, yeah. Well, definitely my priority one is to follow Amber around, and great opportunity this year with Venturini and with Icon, and driving some good stuff with a great crew around her. She's going back to tracks now for a second and third time, and which is cool. And definitely going to follow her. If there's a weekend off here and there, we'll come out with the 10 now and then. But last year is our 40th year, and I'm not done, but we're getting close.
Wow, 40 years. That's crazy. Amber and Mike, if there's something you want to say to each other, now's your chance.
Mike?
I think I heard at Daytona that...
Hold on.
Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, no, I don't know if she can hear me, but just we're real proud of her, excited for what she's done, and looking forward to what happens next. You know, it's a cool deal. She's 1% of 1%, so to be a parent and follow this is a lifelong dream, and we're excited and happy. We're racers, you know. My wife comes from the Kenzie side, myself with my racing, and Amber doing her stuff. It's really cool.
Amber, did you catch that?
I did, yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but you'll have to relay the message. So I heard I had some friends at Daytona, and they were watching my race beside my dad, and they said he's pretty entertaining when he watches me race. He gets really fired up. So I wanna know about what he goes through watching me race, because I had been in the stands at River City Speedway watching him race forever.
So great question. Ask Mike that. See if you can hear that.
Go ahead. Did you hear that, Mike?
Unfortunately, I did not. No.
Okay.
Ask him.
Go ahead.
Here, let me see this.
Mike,
you got Chad here. I'm talking to you, buddy. She wants to know, because she watched you for years at River City Speedway do your thing, and she heard that through the grapevine from her friends at Daytona. You were going kind of crazy watching her. What's it like watching her do her thing?
Thing is, since she started racing, I don't get nervous. I just get excited because I got my little girl who, you know, we have fun with them. She puts a helmet on. She's my little buddy, and it's really cool. But as things go on and time goes on, you know, you get more invested, I think. And at Daytona, I was ready to jump over the wall after that first wreck, and you know, you just want to fix stuff. And fortunately, she's already got a great crew, but I was probably more invested and more into it than I should have been. I was a little bit of a hockey dad, but for the most part, I stay away and stay arm's length and just let her do her thing. But that Daytona thing got me wound up for sure.
There you go,
Awesome.
Amber.
Awesome. It says, good show, everyone. Kevin Pappenfuss, Sherry Amundsen, Norman. I can picture Mike being the ultimate fan. Here's a good one from Joshua. I remember when Mike retired from racing back in 2008 or something. He showed up at the first NLRA race of 2009, and someone wrote Brett Favre in his car. 15 years later, he is still at it. Brett Favre, how about that? Mike, I'll darn it. I wish we would have been able to get him, you know, on the Zoom thing here, but
right.
We'll have to figure that out. Now, your dad, Amber, mentioned he likes to stay arm lengths away, which is hard to do. We all have got kids. We know how hard that is to do. You with football and baseball, me with the same thing with my kid growing up. It's hard to do, but somebody's got to help you. Give a shout out to your crew and your sponsors and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I would not be racing if it wasn't for Icon Direct. Icon Direct is an RV parts manufacturer out of Manitoba, actually, but they shipped RV parts all over North America. The best plastic components that you can put in your RV. So extremely grateful for Icon Direct to be sponsoring my whole season. And then racing for Venturini Motorsports. They've been in the ARCA Menard series for a long time, dominating for a long time. They just celebrated their 100th win at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go try to get them their 101st win and be the first female to win with them as well. So super grateful to be with an amazing team, have an amazing sponsor, great crew. Dave Fuge is my crew chief. we're new with working with each other. We've only worked with each other at the test and Daytona, but our relationship is just getting better and better and stronger, and building that trust in your team, and your team trusting and believing in you is a big part of what makes success in this sport. So that's something I really put a lot of effort into, as well as my relationships on and off the track with my team and my sponsors. So very grateful for them, grateful to have my parents come along, and I got a lot of good people around me right now. And another addition that's new is I have a management team now, which I hadn't had before. I'd done everything all on my own, and now I have a great manager. So he's been in this motorsports field for a really long time. He's really well known in motorsports, and well respected. So to have someone that really understands the business side of the sport and helping me get the best opportunities, and just having someone in my corner so I can focus a little bit more on driving and a little less on the business side, it's really helped a lot.
By the way, Steven Ader Olson says to say hi. And hi, guys. Hey, Amber. And if you want to keep up with Amber Balcaen, following her on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Amber Balcaen Racing. You can also get on the NASCAR ARCA Facebook page and check out their schedule, too. Now, before we let you go here, I know we're running out of time here, Amber, but we talk about getting that 101st win for your race team. We know you're going to get one. What's it gonna be like after that first W in the ARCA series? Is it gonna be a Balcaen party style, or party style with the Balcans, or do you think about that or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I envision winning pretty much every single day. I think you have to see it before you see it, believe it, feel it before you achieve it. And I'm big into visualization. I'm big into mindset, and I truly believe I've manifested this life for myself through working hard, but also, believing that I can do this. And it's really easy to doubt yourself, especially in the sport. Racing, unlike other sports, you can go your whole career without winning. When you play football, you got a 50-50 chance of winning, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So to keep your confidence up at all times, and believe in yourself that you can win, is big. But to answer your question, I mean, winning in the ARCA Menard series would be everything. A female has not done it at a national level. No woman has won at a national level of NASCAR. Being Canadian in this sport, it mean a lot for me to represent my country and win for them. And I just want it so bad. And I really believe the opportunity I have in front of me is the best chance to win. And I really believe that we can win this year, and not only win a race, but win the championship. So those are two big goals that I have. I'd like to win on a big track and a short track if I can, just to show, my adaptability. But I don't want to get too greedy here. I'll be really happy with one win, but definitely going to try to get as many wins as we can.
Hey, do you miss the North Country, the tundra up here? Do you miss us?
I don't miss the cold.
Yeah.
I won't lie about that, but I definitely miss the people. Absolutely.
Man, this is fun.
Well, it's crazy, and Amber, just we're so proud of you up here in the North Country for sure. All of us are following your Facebook page. Keep killing it, man. Just go after it and get something. Well, we're super proud of you up here. Keep going.
Yeah, and I don't even know where you live now, but I just thought
Probably she's wearing a sweatshirt. It can't be that warm.
Well, I just took I kind of took.
It was 50 degrees, so that's sweatshirt weather here.
Oh, yeah.
50 degrees. So let's see.
Are you in the Carolinas, or where are you?
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was amazed. I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna just send her a text and see if maybe she still has the same number. Maybe she hasn't blocked me yet. Yeah. And she replied within soon.
Yeah.
And
No,
so
I love your guys' show, and I love you guys, and I really appreciate the support from North Dakota, Minnesota, like the northern states. Having local support is huge.
Yeah.
It was really scary making this change when I first did it. I think a lot of people thought I was crazy. So now just having the support, it means a lot. And I'll never forget where I came from. The best years of my life was racing sprint cars at River City Speedway. So I'll never forget that. I'd love to come back if there's an opportunity and see all you guys. I still sold more t-shirts at River City Speedway than I sell now. Like, that's how great the fans are. So It's just it's incredible. The track's incredible. The fans, the people are incredible, and I'll never forget that.
Well, you make sure you let us know next time you're in this area, because we will make sure to get you scheduled, because we want to get you in the studio. We'd love to get you and your dad both in this. We'd get your whole dang family in here.
Yeah, that'd be a show. That would be a show.
That would be a show.
Yeah.
Well,
Get my mom in there and everything.
yeah, absolutely we
Right?
would. I mean, they have been such a fixture and a part of you and me.
Oh my gosh.
Dirt track
Oh my
racing
gosh.
careers. You know that it would be awesome. Speaking of Canada, Daryl, one of our Canadian buddies, great show, boys. Go Amber. Laurel Sherman Close. Fun that you guys got Amber on live. Yeah,
I tell you, the Balcaen family, Amber, you're just a spitting image of your mom and dad, because you have the same kind of down home type of thing, and we love that. And just to talk to you today and know what you're going through and how much hard work you're putting into this, and know your drive, you're gonna get that win. Just go after it. Kick ass, man. Let's get it done.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go, Amber. Don't be surprised if you get more texts from me.
I won't. Like I said, I love your guys' show. My favorite interview of my dad ever was when he was on your show, and I love being. You guys are great.
You know,
Thank you so
some
much.
people are so easy to interview. It makes for a good show, and you and your dad are two of those people. Thank you, Amber. Good luck. I know you got Phoenix coming up here next
kill it.
week. Kill it, and then you're down to Talladega. Oh boy, there we go. Congratulations on everything. Look where you're at now, from where you started. And you know what? Josh Johnson says we still think you're crazy, but we're rooting for you. And I think he nailed it right there. Thank you, Joshua, and thank you too, Amber.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, take care. There we go.
There's
And I
Amber.
want to apologize again to Mike Balcaen for not being able to get things to work for him here. But there we go, Amber Balcaen. And again, thanks to Mark Curtis Askelson, the announcer at Norman County Raceway.
Great show today.
Yeah, it was a great show. And thank you, Chad, for coming in like you always do. And I want to thank our sponsors, too, including Rumor Sports Bar Casino. They're in the Grand Cities Mall here. They are going to be busy this weekend, because not only are they open for their great food, you get $1.50 tacos, by the way, Saturday. Any pizza for $9 tomorrow. Sandwich it aside for $7 today. But the reason I'm talking about that, Saturday, you can jump on a bus, go to the UND hockey game, or you can do like I am, jump on a bus and go see Journey and Toto. Yeah. They've got buses to all the big events. Rumor Sports Bar and Casino right here in the Grand Cities Mall. Stop in. Yeah.
Believe it.
Sing it, man.
Sorry.
Rumor Sports Bar and Casino here in the Grand Cities Mall. Thanks to Dale, the producer. Another great job. And considering we had all kinds of difficulties, man, the guy works his ass off.
He's saying
in here.
50-50, he says. Yeah.
Guy works his ass off.
He does a good job.
By the way, next week, River City Speedway schedule is out, and we're going to be talking with Darren Ebbebold and Brad Sang, two of the owners of River City Speedway, about this coming season. We're looking forward to it. Hey, we are so jam-packed busy today. Big screens and TV streams on at 1:30 today. At 6:30, the Fork Sports Highway Show, the best sports podcast around. And of course, got to talk about beer on a Thursday. Brew Brothers Beer Podcast at 9 o'clock today. Full day of great shows. Check them all out if you can, all right? Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. It dings every time we go on the air. You'll never miss a show like this. Grand Cities are grand. Grand Forks' best source is giving them an identity again.